Welcome back, hockey fans, to Royally Quacked. Of course, I'm Royal and he's Quacked. I'd like to start off today's episode talking about baseball for just a second. We have lost, possibly, I could say, one of my favorite baseball people to ever live.
Oh,
Mr. Baseball, Bob Eucher, has passed away. I mean, how many of you have, no matter where, when it comes on TV, like Major League, you're waiting for Eucher. Just a bit outside.
I loved him in the Major League movies.
And you know, he was just a naturally funny guy.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, my heart's broken that he's gone. I mean, I'm glad he's left his legacy. So, I just spent like the last hour watching a tribute to him on the Major League Baseball Network.
Oh, I didn't even know they had that out already.
Well, they did it on the MLB Network this morning. So, if I'm a little ill-prepared for the podcast, you know why, because I'm a huge Bob Eucher fan. I mean,
Major Leagues is still one of my favorite movies ever.
and you know, and it wouldn't have been the same without Bob Eucher.
No, it wouldn't have.
It would have been a pretty good movie, but Eucher made it a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not high up on anybody's categories as greatest movies of all time, but it's something I'll watch every year, sometimes multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think it was like on Netflix or something, and it was leaving soon or whatever. So I was like, I'll watch it. I love a good laugh.
Oh God, yes, it's funny. It's
Still
like,
one of my favorite quotes is in the second movie. Favorite movie quote of all time.
But you're not talking a Eucher one.
No, not a Eucher one. Not a Eucher
You're
reference.
talking about
Rube Baker.
Rube Baker. Yep.
Yeah. Women can't live without him, and they can't pee standing up.
It is that's a classic, I have to admit.
It was like that one, and hey guys, I made the rooster.
Yeah, he was just memories.
Yeah.
And fond memories at that. You know, especially like, you know, with the fires we've had here in Southern California and in the Los Angeles area and all the sadness that's happened. You know, one thing about those movies and Bob Eucher, they take you away. Sort of like the old commercial Calgon. Women would say, "Take me away." They'd go take a bath with that Calgon bath oil, and they would take them away. So, but anyways, Cody, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I don't know. I feel a little weird. I don't know if I'm like sick or just. I've had this like tickle in my throat the last 2 days, and I had like a massive headache yesterday. I'm feeling a little bit better. That's why I took an early shower before the pod. You know, hopefully sweat it out or whatever.
Yeah, well, there is a cold bug going around.
Yeah.
Glad we're not in studio together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it. I mean, I was already, at Christmas time, my in-laws, I stay there for work because I work in Orange County. They got sick. And I want to say it was a week and a half, 2 weeks. And they actually missed coming for Christmas. They were so sick. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't get that one. So how do we want to start off today with this
there's not a lot
of Ducks and Kings news? Or?
Yeah. You want to go through yours real quick, and then I'll go through mine?
Yeah, it might take me about an hour to go through my Kings news.
All right, I'll take a quick nap. You go ahead.
Yeah. If you're a big Kings fan, you already know this, but Samuel Hellenius recalled from Ontario. That's an hour worth of Kings news.
Oh,
Out of duck news, Cody.
we don't have a lot either. The main one was the Hurricanes and the Flyers could be two potential landing spots for John Gibson per Elliot Friedman. I think I'd rather see him go to Carolina than Philadelphia, and
So
I don't think he wants to go to Philly either because he was a Penguins fan growing up.
that's true. He's from
Mm,
Pittsburgh, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, there's been talks after what's his name, Jari. I know I'm ruining it later, but he got waived. There was talks like, oh, Gibson to Penguins.
I would think that would be more likely.
Yeah, and then
Um,
and then one more bit of news is not really news, but it's a fun fact. Nikita Nesterenko. I know he hasn't played much up with the Ducks and everything. He has 3 career goals. Can you guess how many teams he scored against with those 3 goals?
one.
Yep. Can you tell me which one?
No.
I'll give you a hint. Gretzky played for this team.
Oilers.
Nope.
Rangers.
No.
St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues. He scored 3 goals, 3 separate times, all against the Blues. It's a
Interesting.
little fun thing. That's it for Ducks news.
Well, let's go on to league news.
Yep.
You want me to start, or you want to start?
Go for it.
The Canucks are not opposed to trading Elias Pettersson and JT Miller within the Western Conference per Elliot Friedman. Wow. I didn't think they were willing to trade them both.
I think I don't think it's both. I think it's just
One or the other.
yeah.
And we had that conversation last podcast on
Yeah.
what we thought.
Yep. And then Ducks fans will remember this next name. The Oilers have signed defender John Klingberg to a 1-year contract worth $1 million AAV with a signing bonus with $350K. So
Nice.
I think they needed another puck moving defenseman and everything. So hopefully, I just think that he regrets not taking that deal with Dallas now. That 7-8 year deal that he was going to get from them.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you take the next one because I'll butcher this name.
No, you say it. I'll say it. It's fine. This happened last night, I believe. Alex Nedeljkovic became the first goalie in NHL history to score a goal and record an assist in one game.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie, there was a freeze frame that was like that they took where the puck wasn't in the net yet, but you could tell it was going in. It was probably still like another 20 feet from going in, and Crosby's like in the shot, looking back, like, yeah, you just scored. Like, it was a great photo. I'll have to see if I could find it. But it was a great shot.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Some other news. Connor McDavid now second to Wayne Gretzky on the Oilers' all-time point list.
Wow.
I think he's gonna
If he stays there.
might take it. Well, because Gretzky went and played quite a few years with the Kings, and then went to St. Louis and then the Rangers.
Yeah.
And I think McDavid, unless he goes somewhere else, has a chance to beat that record because he'll play more years than Gretzky did there.
Yeah. True.
Well, since you already spoiled this news, you can. The next one's you already spoiled.
Yeah. The Penguins place starting goalie Tristan Jarry on waivers. And it's for AHL assignment. So he did already clear waivers, so he didn't go anywhere. Of course, I don't think anyone's shocked because how bad his contract is. I think he still has like 3 years left after this at like 5-something million. I can't, it's like over 5 million.
That's crazy. Now, Frederick Anderson, ex Anaheim Duck,
Mm-hmm.
had knee surgery and was activated from injured reserve Friday, according to Walt Ruff of the Carolina Hurricanes
Hurricanes.
official website. So that might mean Philly or Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because I mean Anderson, before he got had to have knee surgery, was he was playing well for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, but he's always getting injured. You know, yeah, he's coming back now, but doesn't mean he's going to be healthy later either. So we'll see.
So we're going to go on to games now. So
yes, games.
We're going to bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
I'll go first. You got 4 games. I got 3 games.
Yeah. All right. This is the one of the games I really don't want to talk about. But for this podcast, I kind of have to. The Ducks go to Philly. Oh, that's cool. Like, is that the Kessler one?
That's the Kessler one.
It's funny. I think I have the Timu one from that year.
Oh man. If I'm ever gonna get a Duck bobblehead, it better be Timu.
Yeah. I think
saying.
I think I got 3 of his right now. So, but let's go back. Let's go back to this horrendous of a game I really don't want to talk about. But the Ducks go to Philly for the first time, and it's Cutter's first game in Philly since he asked to be traded from there. So the Ducks get walloped in this game, 6-0. I'm going to have more on this later because I want to go on a full-on rant about the Ducks play, but I'm going to wait till we're done with all the games. Or should I just do, after I'm done with the game, go on a little rant on each game? How do you think I should do it? All at once, or just do it?
I'll leave it up to you how you want to do it.
I'll do it after each game I talk about. So, this game was just bad all around. Let's just say this was not a fun game to watch, and I'm glad I didn't watch it live. I watched it the next day. At least I was able to skip through it a little bit more than so that way I didn't have to cry myself to sleep that night. But main thing is the Ducks got walloped 6-0. Morgan Frost, Jamie Drysdale, Owen Tippett, Ryan Poling, Matvey Michkov, and Garnet Hathaway each scored for the Flyers to make it. It was a 6-0 loss. I believe after the 4th goal, no, I think it was all 6 goals. I can't remember now, actually. I think I remember who played this game. Was it Gibson? Was he in for every single goal? I think he was. Let's see. Gibson. Should have had this ready. Yeah, Gibson was on the ice for every single goal against. The fans were really, you can hear, like you knew when Cutter was on the ice because you can hear the fans booing on the broadcast. And I know John Allers mentioned that a few times, like, oh, I guess we never have to worry about when Cutter's on the ice because we'll know. The only thing I don't like was, what they were saying towards him. They were saying F you, Cutter, and you can hear it on the broadcast. You can hear it. But long story short, the Ducks got, like I said, walloped 6-0. They got outshot 30-22. They won the faceoffs. They were 0 for 1 on the power play, obviously, but they gave up 2 power play goals. The Ducks had 30 penalty minutes to Philly's 14. Because I think Gudis got a game misconduct in this game? Let's see. It should tell me. It was towards the end. Yeah, he got a misconduct, yes. So, the 3 stars of the game, Drysdale was the number 3. He had a goal and assist for 2 points. Urson was number 2 with the shutout. And then Travis Konechny, 4 assists for 4 points for the number 1 star.
Wow.
So now my rant for this game. Real class by the Philadelphia fans. You're really going to let a 19, 20-year-old kid, bug you that much where you got to say F you? I get the whole Jamie's better one. That's fine. That one didn't bug me as much, but do you really need to say F you, Cutter, as a chant? But like I said, I know Philly's kind of a different breed of fans that they have. It's like them and the Buffalo Bills fans and Raiders fans. All different breeds.
Yeah.
How was that not an interference penalty on Brink when he hit Brian Dumoulin from behind? Brian Dumoulin wasn't even near the puck. He came up and just cross-checked Dumoulin to the ground. No call. Nothing. Next one. So is it okay to run over goalies now? Gibson got ran over by Forrester and no call. And the refs got to do something in these games because they probably knew going in. The league probably already told them like, hey, be ready for this game. Take control. The refs did not take control of this game. Gibson was getting like almost murdered in this game. It was like the whistle blew, and then 5 seconds later, and the Philadelphia Flyer guy was poking his stick at Gibson after the play was already completely done. You guys gotta control that, and they didn't. Refs are absolutely terrible in this game, like I already said. Michkov hits Gudis with a high stick and knocks a frickin' tooth out, and nothing. He only got a minor penalty on that. Just a minor. Knocked out a tooth, and only a minor penalty. So, and that's the second time a player this season has gotten a high stick to the face, and it caused an injury, or blood, or lost a tooth, and it was not a double minor. Tell me how that makes sense. Gibson got a stick to the face, and the guy got an interference penalty. This blade went into Gibson's mask and hit his eye, and he only got an interference. That was the Vegas game. And this one, the guy Michkov hits Gudis in the tooth, knocks it out, and only a minor. I don't understand that. But the refs, they did not take control of this game, and you could tell why they didn't. It was almost a bloodbath. And I'll save this what I was going to say for later for my player of the week. So, but you can talk about your first Kings game now. I'm done.
Okay. Well, our first game was last Saturday, and we played in Calgary against the Flames. Let's go to the scoring to start off. That's how I like to do it. And this was the high point of this game. Jacob Moverari got his first goal of the season, unassisted, at the 6:19 mark on a wrist shot. That was the highlight for the Kings, just so you know. And Kings were leading after one period, 1-0. Then in the second period, at the 8:58 mark on a wrist shot, Matt Coronado, which is, I do believe, the guy that Brant Clark had a fight with in the AHL last year, pretty early in the season. But he scored his 10th from Coleman, his 12th, to tie the score. So after 2 periods, it's 1-1. Then in the third period, Jonathan Huberdeau on the power play gets his 18th from Coronado, his 12th, and Kadri, his 14th, at the 4:36 mark on a wrist shot. And that was the game winner. And it was 2-1. Now, what was amazing in the first period, the Kings outshot Calgary 17-4 and dominated. Now, the rest of the game was hardly fought. I thought the Kings played well. They just didn't put the puck in the net. They got wolfed, is what they did. Again, got wolfed by Dustin Wolf. On the faceoffs, 65-35. The Kings were 0 for 3 on the power play, and the Calgary was 1 for 4. Hits 20 to 10 for Calgary. Block shots 17 for the Kings, 13 for Calgary. Giveaways, Kings 13, Flames 12. Takeaways were at 4 apiece. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. And there isn't a king among them, but Huberdeau was the 3rd star with a goal. I mean, I would have switched the 2nd and 1st star. The 2nd star was Dustin Wolf. He only gave up 1 goal and had a .969 save percentage in the game. And Matt Coronado, he was the number 1 star with a goal and assist. I still would have had Wolf and Coronado switched. And the thing is we lost the game, but I don't think we played bad. It's one thing to lose and not play well. But when you're playing well and not winning, and basically it comes to scoring, and we need to score. And we had plenty of chances. We had 32 shots. So that's the Calgary game, and we're going to move on to Cody's next game.
All right. Well, the Ducks had a back-to-back last weekend. They started in Philly with that whopping of a loss they had, and then they moved to Carolina. The Ducks played better in this game, I can tell you that, because, well, one, they actually scored. Jansen Harkins got his first career Duck goal. He got his first of the season. Nestorenko and Dumoulin got the assist. It was a nice little snapshot from Harkins. So I like the way he plays. He's I would say a good 4th liner to have. I've been really impressed with his play. Cutter Gauthier gets his 6th of the year, assist from McTavish and Lacombe. And now it's 2-0 Ducks. And that was early on in the 3rd period. And then 6 minutes go by, and Andrei Svechnikov got his 15th of the year on the power play to make it 2-1 Ducks. And then Seth Jarvis got his 13th of the season. Now it's a tie game, and they scored that goal with just under a minute left. And it forced overtime, and on his first, I believe his first career multi-goal game, Cutter Gauthier gets the game winner from Lacombe and Vetrano, and Cutter snaps it past Kochekov, and the Ducks win this one 3-2 in overtime. Here are the stats. The Ducks got brutally outshot 37-20. They got demolished in the faceoff 60-40. Again, 0 for on the power play. 50% for Carolina. Got out hit, but we did have more block shots, 28-8. And yeah, but like I said, a better all-around game for the Ducks this game, but they're finding ways to win, but it's not the right way to win games. Like, I feel like they're getting lucky right now, and this is my honest opinion watching the games. We're goaling a lot of teams because Dostal and Gibson are just standing on their head. So I would like for things to change, and I think there's one way to do it, but that's probably not going to happen this season. It's probably going to happen in the off season. So, but the 3 stars of the game, Seth Jarvis with the 1 goal for 1 point as a 3rd star. Cutter Gauthier got 2 goals for 2 points as a 2nd star. And then Lukasz Dostwal had 35 saves on 37 shots. So he is the number 1, rightly deserved. he was, like I said, we're goaling teams. So, but like I said, this was a better game than the Philly game. And the one thing I do commend about the Ducks was it's a good comeback from the game from before when you got brutally just demolished by Philly. And good for Cutter to get 2 goals this game after what he dealt with in the game before. So, like I said, it was a good bounce back game for the Ducks and Cutter. It just makes me wonder if Cutter circled the wrong date on the calendar to when to score 2 goals because it was a back to back. You don't get it? Okay, we'll move on. All right, but that was it for the Ducks and Carolina game.
So now we're going to go to Edmonton on the 13th. This was a battle. I mean, the Kings, I thought, totally outplayed Edmonton in the first period. Edmonton completely outplayed the Kings in the second period. And the third period, I thought Edmonton had an edge, but not by much. Let's go to the scoring. And it only happened in the second period. Connor McDavid got his 17th, from Nurse his 14th, and Draisaitl his 33rd. Okay? I'm gonna talk about something that happened like just before this that actually kind of led to the goal, but I'm gonna talk about it with the 3 stars. So let's go to the 3 stars.
Oh boy.
Connor McDavid was the 3rd star with a goal. Second star was Darcy Kemper he gave 1 goal, and they did pull him to try to score at the end of the game, so his GAA was 1.04, but his save percentage was .967. Number 1 was Stuart Skinner, had a shutout. But I'm gonna say Alex Laferriere, when he MMA'd Connor McDavid, after Connor McDavid, I want to remember, I did see this, but I haven't looked at it again, but he kind of like threw an elbow at his head. So Laferriere picked him up and body slammed him right on the ice and got a penalty.
Really? I'll have to try to find that.
And that was in the second period, which then I think right after the penalty kill, or pretty close after, that's where the Edmonton really started controlling the game, and that's when McDavid scores the game winner. So I know Laferriere didn't play the next game. I'm not sure if that was because of losing his cool and taking down Connor McDavid, but I got to tell you, I love the kid doing it. I mean, it was the highlight for the game for me. So here are some of the stats, though. I mean, this shows you what kind of game this was. Shots on goal, 30-30. Kings on the faceoff, 52-48. That's pretty close. Hits, Edmonton 15. Kings only had 8. Got to do more hits, guys. Block shots, Oilers 16, Kings 14. Giveaways, the Kings had 11 to Oilers 8. And takeaways, Kings had 4-3. Another game that anybody could have won. So when we're losing, we're not getting lambasted. We've been competitive in all these games. So as kind of angry as I am about losing 2 games in a row, I thought we still, we played well, but not well enough.
Yeah. So
let's move on to your next Ducks game.
All right. Another game I really didn't want to talk about. The Ducks go to the country's capital, Washington, to take on Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. Let's just say the second game out of 3 where the Ducks got shut out. Yeah. Brandon Duhaime, John Carlson, and Ethan Frank each got a goal in this game, and it was a 3-0 win for the Washington Capitals. And I can tell you this, I really wish the Ducks would have gotten Chychrun, because every time the Ducks play against Chychrun, he gets a goal or an assist every single time. And believe it or not, they actually announced that it was his goal at first, and I was like, of course Chychrun scores, and I wrote that on my notes. And then they changed it later that it was tipped in or went off of Duhaime. So it was 2-0 after the first period with goals from Duhaime and John Carlson. And in the second period, Ethan Frank got his second of the year. And Dubois has 27 assists this season already.
Yeah.
So
obviously it was a good move for him.
Yeah. And I think it was a good move for Kemper too.
Yeah, Kemper is top 5 in goals against average and save percentage in the NHL.
It's very rare teams get a win-win trade like that.
Yeah, it is rare.
Yeah. So, the Ducks got outshot this game 25-19. The Ducks only had 2 shots in the second period. 2 shots. Got lost in the face-off 54-46. Again, 0-4 on the power play, but we didn't give up a power play goal, and Ovechkin did not score a goal on us, so check that. The Ducks out-hit them 28-6, had 15 block shots, 13 giveaways, and 2 takeaways. The 3 stars of this game, John Carlson with the goal and for 1 point, Duhaime for a goal and assist for 2 points, and Logan Thompson had the shutout, so of course he's the number 1 star. And Thompson played great. The Ducks had some decent chances on Thompson, and Thompson looked good.
He's been one of the top goalies all season.
I think he got snubbed from the Four Nations. I thought he should have been one of the goalies for Canada.
Well, I got to tell you, I think I mentioned it when he went to Washington. I go, they let him go?
Yeah.
They traded him, right?
They traded him on draft day. He was literally, because the draft was in Vegas.
He was signing autographs.
He was signing autographs when he got and he stayed there and continued signing autographs until he was done.
That's why hockey.
Which, class act by Thompson.
That's why hockey's a better sport than any of the other sports. I mean, the athletes, most of them are good guys.
Yeah.
We're not getting the bad boys from football, and especially football and basketball, that are their egos are bigger than their paychecks, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, especially for those other sports. And these players are willing to play back-to-back games, and in other sports they're really not. But here's my other rant I really want to go on for this game. In the first 3 minutes, oh, thank you. In the first 3 minutes, the Ducks are stuck in their defensive zone. Can't win any board battles. Can't get the puck out of the zone, and then take a bad penalty in their own offensive zone, and that was all within 1 minute. What?
Move to the center of the screen.
Yeah.
You lean and you.
I know.
Go down.
Sorry,
start reading.
My back hurts. Okay, leave me alone.
Sorry.
So I know there's gonna be a few people that are gonna get mad what I'm about to say next, but it has to be said. Ducks, shoot the fucking puck, please. Yeah, I know. But I'm tired of seeing the Ducks with wide open chances in the slot, and they pass. I hear almost every single game from Brian Hayward, John Allers, I think even Guy Hebert said it. When you're in that area, shoot the puck. I know I'm gonna get a text from a couple people on this. I know. So,
yeah, Mama Duck's gonna be.
Oh, I know, but I think Mom might give me a little bit of a pass because it's bad. Like, I know Ryan Strome is guilty of it. Leo Carlson is guilty of it. You know, like Troy Terry, he takes his shots. You don't have to worry about Cutter taking shots. I think McTavish has done it from time to time, but shoot the puck. If you're in the slot and even if it's on a 2-on-1, they decide and they pass way too late, and then they never end up getting a shot on net. And it's a grade A scoring chance, and it's wasted by them passing when they have a wide open shot. Next one. The Ducks need to score on breakaways. The Ducks had a few, like every game I watched, they have a breakaway, at least one, and they can never finish the breakaway. They can never score on these breakaways. Like, what's like, we do decently well in shootouts, but yet when it's a breakaway, we can't score. Like every time, I don't think we scored on a breakaway. It feels like we haven't scored on a breakaway once this season. I know I'm wrong, but I'm just saying that's what it looks like. Next one, the Ducks look like they're half a second behind on a lot of plays. Like it looks like they're just moving slower than everyone else. On board battles, on shots, like it looks like just on 50-50 pucks. They just look like the other team is on it before the Ducks even realize where the puck is. So that's my last bit of rant for that game. So you can move on to your last game.
Well, my last game on Thursday in Vancouver. Let's go over the scoring. This is going to be a fun game. So in the first period, not even a minute in, 51 seconds in on a tip-in, Alex Turcotte gets his 6th from Adrian Kempe, his 20th assist. 1-0 Kings. 8.5 minutes later, Alex Turcotte gets his 7th from Kevin Fiala, his 9th. He only has 9 assists. That's pathetic. If we had Fiala of last year, scoring-wise, we'd have a lot more wins. Mikey Anderson had his 9th assist. So Mikey Anderson has as many assists as Kevin Fiala. I did not know that. To put the Kings up 2-0. Not to be outdone, Juice, Adrian Kempe, gets his 21st from Alex Turcotte, his 12th, and Anze Kopitar, his 29th. So it's 3-0 Kings first period. And that's how it ended in the first period. 3-0 Kings. So we start off the second period, and Quinn Hughes, Norris Trophy winner from last year, gets his 10th from Garland, his 20th, and Roenick, his 9th, on a wrist shot at the 14:52 mark. So now it's 3-1 Kings. Then on the power play, oh my God, we scored a power play goal.
What's that like?
Just a bit outside. No. Kevin Fiala, his 15th from Trevor Moore, his 13th, and Joel Edmondson, his 7th, on a wrist shot at the 15:58 mark, made it 4-1 Kings. So after 2 periods, it's 4-1 Kings. Then in the third period, Warren Fogle gets his 12th from Quentin Byfield, his 12th, and Brant Clark, his 20th. And that was the last score of the game, and the Kings win it 5-1. So let's go to some of the stats. The actual shots on goal, 21 apiece. Kings won the face-off circle again, 55-45. They were 1 for 3 on the power play. We actually got more than one power play for once, and we were 1 for 3. Their power play, or our penalty kill, was awesome. They were 0 for 5. On hits, it was 22-12 Vancouver. Block shots 17-12 Kings. Giveaways 16-13. I mean, that's one you don't want to win, but the Kings did. And takeaways, the Kings had 8, and the Canucks had 3. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Kevin Fiala was the 3rd star with a goal and an assist. Adrian Kempe was the 2nd star with a goal and assist. And Alex Turcotte was the number 1 star with 2 goals and an assist. Just a quick think. Was that Riddick in goal, or was Kemper in that goal again? Can't remember. I mean, I want to take a quick look. It was Kemper. Kemper's he's playing awesome. He really is.
That's what I'm saying. It's very rare you get a trade like that where both teams won. I feel like they won the trade.
Yeah, I just thought they both would play not as good. Just to be
Well, I mean,
honest
because
with
of
you.
how they played last year, I can totally see that.
Yeah. So, on to your last game, Cody.
All right. My last game. The Ducks go to Tampa Bay. And
Hey.
yeah. Troy Terry got the scoring started on this one on a nice little tip-in goal for his 15th of the season with assists from Strome and Dumoulin. And then about 8 minutes later, Anthony Cirelli scores on the power play, his 18th of the year. Hagel, 29 assists. Hedman, 28 assists this year. So we're tied after one apiece. And then I think this is the goal that pissed me off because it was it was the video I showed you.
Okay.
The Troy Terry penalty.
Yeah.
I still don't see the penalty. Like they were saying it was a pick. I've seen way worse picks than that, and they never call it. But yet it's okay for the guy to put his blade under Troy Terry's skates, and Troy Terry skips and no call. And I thought that one was way more blatant. So Jake Gensel gets his 22nd of the year on the power play to make a 2-1 Tampa Bay. It just happened to squeak just under, I believe it was Dostal that played this game. I can't remember at the top of my head. It just squeaked right under his pad, and Gensel just poked it right in.
Did you actually watch the end of the video?
Why?
On the Terry thing? Well,
Why?
because he went, and I don't know who got the puck after Terry had lost it. Because it looked like the guy kind of tripped him.
Yeah.
But then he went and checked the guy. And
Terry?
it was, yes. He checked him. That's where your interference call came from.
Okay, but where's the tripping call?
Well,
that's where I have
there's your complaint right there.
Yeah.
I just watched it again. I didn't, because I thought the tripping call is what you would talk to. I didn't watch the end, and he did. He made that play after they were kind of away. The guy was already going around the net to the other side.
I've still seen way more blatant interference calls, and is in that game too.
But I could see the call now, kind of.
But the tripping one was more blatant than that interference call.
I would agree.
So
okay, go on. Sorry.
It's all good. Leo Carlson finally scores again, his 9th of the year from assist from Mason McTavish. So now we're tied up 2 apiece. And then Braden Point towards the end of the third gets his 26th goal of the year, and now it's 3-2 Tampa. Then we go into the third period. Robbie Fabry, about halfway through the third, scores on a tip-in shot. I thought it was Trouba's goal, but then you could totally tell that Robbie Fabry tipped it. So assist for Trouba and Minchikov. So now we're tied 3 apiece. We go into overtime, and nobody scores in overtime. So now we go to a shootout. The Tampa Bay, I believe, since they're home, they elected to go first. So Gensel scored the first goal in the shootout, and then Leo Carlson was next. And oh god, Carlson had Vazzy beat. Like the puck just kind of blew up on Carlson's stick and just wasn't able to get the shot off, but he had him beat. So Carlson misses on his first shootout. Point misses. Then McTavish misses. Even Kucherov misses. And then Troy Terry, to keep the shootout alive, misses. So the Tampa Bay Lightning end up winning this one 4-3 in a shootout. Here's the stats. The Ducks did outshoot Tampa 37-35. They won the faceoff 55-45. But here's the bad point. 0 for 2 on the power play again, and then 2 for 5 on the penalty kill. Not good. 24 hits, 12 block shots, 13 giveaways, and 3 takeaways. So, but you know, like I said, all around a better game from the Ducks. But I'm gonna go on my little. Or let me do the 3 stars, and I'll do my little rant. Hagel was the 3rd star. He had 1 assist for 1 point. Dostal was the number 2 star, and then Vasilevsky was the number 1 star. And you could totally, the goalies were the best players on the ice that night. Here's my rant. The power play needs to be better. I'm tired of this. They call it. I've heard it called 2 different ways. It's either the umbrella or the 1-3-1. I don't like it because there's no movement on the power play. You're just passing it around, and obviously it's not working. They're not scoring power plays. So something needs to change. There's no movement. You need to move to get the defense to move. The passing is, I feel like it's a lot easier for them to get it's easier for the defenders to defend because you're not moving. And it's like, it's easy. Like, oh, he's not going to move anywhere. So, and like, if we just leave it open for our goalie to see, it should be an easy save. So, and they're not getting anyone in front of the net. There's no movement. And then on one of their power plays, they give up 3, not 1, not 2, 3 shorthanded breakaways during the same power play. And they gave up a 2-on-1 on that same power play. So you're telling me that Tampa Bay had 4 scoring chances on our power play, and the Ducks can't even really get 1 goal on the power play, or even a grade A scoring chance. And at the end of this, I put, we're lucky that Dostal is a beast. We're lucky. So that was it for this game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So now we're done with our season series against the Lightning. We won 1 and lost 1, but we got 3 points.
There you
out
go.
Out of 4.
So did they.
Yeah, but we also outscored them within those 2 games, so we technically win.
Okay. Player of the week?
Player of the week? You want me to go first, or
Sure.
you go first?
I usually go first. It's your turn this time. Sorry.
Oh, I'll go first. Mine's an easy one. Class act, the way he was in Philly. He wasn't taking any flack in Philly. You know, you could tell, like, Konechny was trying to fight him, cussing at him, you know, and Cutter just skated away. He didn't, try to fight anyone. So, and then he had a big game against Carolina with the game winner and everything. So Cutter Cody is my player of the week.
Okay.
I feel like that was an easy one for me to pick.
Yeah. Gotcha. So I think mine was kind of easy this week too. But I could have picked last week's winner, I think. Again. My winner for King of the Week is Alex Turcotte. He had his first multi-goal game in an NHL game. The game winner. He was part of 3 of the 5 goals. But I still want to mention Darcy Kemper.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's moving up the ranks stat-wise. I mean, he's not played as many games as Hellebuck because
Nobody has.
he's been injured, and Hellebuck plays a majority of the games, and I don't think the Kings want to do that. But when you come to all the stats, they're neck and neck, very close. So that's highly impressive. So Alex Turcotte's the king of the week, with Darcy Kemper getting some kudos there too.
Yeah, that's a good choice, and I'm glad Turcotte's finally, becoming a player.
Well, he always had that ability, he just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
What's really weird is now he's healthy, and look at Zegras. He's been dealing with injuries now. And
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about World Junior Champions. They were the part of the number one line.
Yeah.
Both of them together. They were part of the reason that USA won. And it's sad to have injury be prevalent in your career like that. Sometimes I guess it's just how it happens.
Yeah.
I hope Turcotte stays healthy, because he's been on the number one line for the Kings. So we want to go to predictions?
Yeah, predictions.
I'll do mine first this time.
Go for it.
So later today, 6 o'clock, we're playing in Seattle against the Kraken, and I have the Kings winning this game 4-2. Then Monday, we're playing the Penguins. I have the Kings finally beating the Penguins 3-2, because they seem to have our number. And then on Wednesday next week, they play Florida, and I have us losing that game 3-2. So I'm predicting the Kings to go 2-1 this week. Hopefully I'll go 3-0, because I had my first 0 for week this last week.
Okay. Do you maybe want to change your answer for that Florida one? Because if you look at my games, Florida plays the Ducks the night before. So Florida will have a back-to-back day.
I'm still going to leave it.
Okay.
I get too haughty, I rubbed your nose in it last week, and I ate crow this last week, so I
think I went 3-1.
You went 3-1.
Well, so, technically, I'll technically go 2-1, because one of them I already knew the score.
Well, I gave you 3.
Yeah.
So I am 24-14, and you're 17-22.
Well, it's just like our teams.
Pretty close, yeah. So.
My predictions for the week. I have Anaheim tonight, or today, I should say. They're playing in Florida against the Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, and I have them losing this game 4-2. And then on Tuesday, they play at home against the same defending champions, Florida Panthers. I have them losing that one 5-2. And on Thursday, the Ducks host the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I have them winning that one 4-3.
There you go.
Yep.
So we're about at the halfway point, a little past the halfway point. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna play who's in, like currently at this halfway point, and who's out, and who might have a chance to move up and who may not. So we're gonna just bounce around each of the divisions, and then conferences too, on how it's going to go. Do we want to start in the East? Because I think the East is the toughest one.
Well, the East is like the most wide open.
Yeah, well, that's why it's the toughest one.
Yeah.
So let's start in the Atlantic. I'm going to say the Maple Leafs are in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's a doubt about that.
Agreed.
I'm also going to say the Florida Panthers are in.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and these are the top 3 teams from the Atlantic right now. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning's in. They're 3 games behind most of these teams, and yet they're really close. And I mean, they're third place, and I think Boston's 45 games?
46 games with 49 points.
And Tampa Bay's already got more points, and they're 3 games behind. So they'd have to go on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And still be ahead of the Bruins.
And Boston would need a win.
And I know you're going to talk about the Capitals in a minute, or we're going to talk about the Capitals in a minute. You're going to rub my nose in that. But who said Tampa Bay over Boston? And I was disagreed with by you and Eric.
Yeah.
So I'll give myself a little kudo there. Because this is an easy thing to do, because anything can happen. And it's been a very different year, hockey-wise. A lot of teams, I mean, who would have expected? I mean, the Capitals, I thought they'd be better, but I didn't think they'd be the best team in hockey.
Yeah, no kidding. They are the number 1 team right now.
I mean, they are incredible. But the funny thing is, they're only a plus 47. I want to say Winnipeg's plus 60 something, if I'm not mistaken. 54.
Winnipeg. Well, I mean, okay, you're going from the Washington Capitals. They're not known for their defense, but Winnipeg is. But I mean, here's what has me, look at Boston. They're minus 22.
Yeah, there's change coming. They already changed the coach, which I think that was a huge mistake. Well, we're jumping ahead.
Yeah.
So we have those 3 teams in. Let's go to the top 3 teams in the Metropolitan. Then we can go through the wild card for the conference. You want to lead on this one?
Yeah. But like I said, I expected Washington to be better, but not like top of the league at this point. I expected them like in the 3rd spot in the Metro,
or maybe a wild card,
or a wild card. Yeah. Actually,
because they were a wild. Oh
yeah, because
they a wild card last year with that terrible minus. They were like minus 40, and they made the wild card team last year.
Yeah. But Washington is leading the way. In 45 games, they have 65 points. They definitely have the highest points percentage. So I feel like they're definitely in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Number 2 in the Metro, you got the New Jersey Devils. In 47 games, they have 58 points. Right now, technically, Carolina has a better record. Technically, or points percentage, I should say.
Yes.
So, but I would say these 2, I would say, are for sure in Carolina and New Jersey.
I would totally agree with that. Now, right now, as the standings are going in the Eastern Conference, the 2 wild card teams are the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Boston Bruins. Columbus has played 45 games and has 50 points. So good for them. With all the tragedy they went through, I mean, at least there's some hope there that they're going to make the playoffs. Now, the Bruins have an extra game and are 1 point behind Columbus. But you have the Ottawa Senators, who've only played 44 games, and only 1 point. The Montreal Canadiens at 44 games with 48 points, because both those teams, and even the Detroit Red Wings, with 46 points in 44 games.
And they're hot right now,
and
the Red Wings.
Very hot right now.
Would you say they're red hot?
Yeah, I'd say Red Wing hot. Or is that Red Hot Wings?
Red Hot Wings.
But even Philly and Pittsburgh still have an outside chance. They get hot.
The Rangers have been playing better as of late.
Yeah, they're just.
I don't think much of Islanders and Sabres, though. I would say for me, for sure, out is the Islanders and Sabres. And then, if you had to choose your 2 wildcard teams, who are you picking?
Well, you want to look. Okay, let's look at these. Well, just let me make this comment real quick to our fans. There's 10 teams in the wild card pool right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 of them that have a plus goal differential: the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Ottawa Senators. The Boston Bruins are a minus 22, which is
Mm-hmm.
the second worst in the whole division. The only one worse is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And, if they get goalie help, because I think I heard it on 32 Thoughts, might have been Elliot saying it, that, Jari has the most goals against on the first shot of any goalie in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
So pulling him down, but I mean, who are they going to replace him with? I mean, is it just,
Nedeljkovic, the guy that can score his own goals and
yeah,
assist.
and the backup to him?
I think they have like a young prospect goalie. I don't know his
We'll have to
name.
see. I mean,
Lomberg, I
I
want to
mean,
say.
if I had to guess right now, I would probably say my 3 favorites for the wild card would be, and you're gonna laugh at me, would be the Rangers, the Senators, and even the Blue Jackets. They're all playing better than anybody else.
Yeah.
And the Rangers are 8th right now out of that 10-team pool. But
Yeah, but if you look where the Rangers are at, they're only 5 points away from the Blue Jackets that are in that top spot. 5 points.
no, they're 9 points away.
5? The Rangers have 45 points. The Columbus Blue Jackets only have 50 points.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the Islanders. Okay, I stand corrected. You're right. Yeah, 5 points. So those would be the 3 teams I would think.
I'm going to go with Detroit. I have a feeling Boston is just going to squeak in. And then Ottawa. I would say Ottawa's like the one. It's going to be between Boston and Ottawa. So I think Detroit's going to take the number 1
So you
wild
don't
card
think the
spot.
Rangers will make it, huh?
No.
Okay.
I mean, they could prove me wrong. Like I said, not like I've never been wrong before.
Well, we're all wrong at times, that's for sure. Okay, well, let's move to the Western Conference then.
Yeah.
Well, I think Winnipeg's in.
Yeah. And then you got Minnesota.
Minnesota and Dallas.
Dallas is finally heating up.
Yeah, they are. So those are the top 3 teams in the Central. Then in the Pacific, you have the Golden Knights and Edmonton are exactly tied.
The exact same record.
Yeah, except the only difference is that Vegas has a +5 on the goal differential, which probably moves them up. The Kings are 3 games behind them at 55 points. And if they were to, in those 3 games, win, they would still probably be 3rd because they would have less wins. They'd have only 28. But they'd also have less losses.
Yeah.
But the difference is each of them has 3 overtime losses and the Kings have 5. I think they're all in.
Yeah.
This is where it can get convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the number 1 in the wild card is the Colorado Avalanche. They've played 46 games. They have 55 points. And the Calgary Flames are the second wild card with only playing 44 games. They have 49 points. And they're 1 point ahead of the Vancouver Canucks with the same amount of games. And then you have St. Louis Blues, who have played 2 more games at 48 points. Now, to me, the San Jose Sharks are out.
Yeah.
Chicago Blackhawks are out.
Predators out.
I believe that to be true too. And Seattle, Anaheim, and Utah. If they get hot, you never know.
I say Anaheim, Seattle, Nashville, San Jose, Chicago are out. I think Utah can still make a little push because they are 2 games behind, or I mean they have the same as game played as Calgary and Vancouver, but Utah's, they can push, and they got a lot of room with draft picks and prospects to make a move at the deadline.
Yeah.
But who's your 2 in and the 1 maybe? Like what we did with the East.
I think Colorado.
Colorado's an easy in.
An easy in. There's 3 teams, I think, that could be the second in my book. And
okay.
That would be the Flames, the Canucks, and the Blues. Right now, the Blues are the best team playing the best in hockey right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
They're only 6-4 in the last 10.
I'm gonna go. Colorado, Vancouver. I'm gonna go with Utah. I'm like between Utah and St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
I'll go I'll go Colorado, Vancouver, and St. Louis. I'll change my mind.
You're gonna kick Calgary out, huh?
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna last. I mean, they're already doing better than what they already expected this season.
True. So, okay.
And I don't see them. I mean, you never know. They could, go for it at the deadline. You never know.
So I have a game. It's kind of a game that I like to play, not this week.
Okay.
But if we don't have a lot of news again, I'd like to play it next week, and it's called plus, minus, or equal.
Okay.
So what we would do, and we might do this maybe 2 or 3 times a season. We're going to go through our rosters and go, are they playing better than we expected? They're a plus. If they're not playing as well as expected, they're a minus. If they're playing about what we expected, they're an equal. And we can go through the roster. You can do the Ducks, and I could give you commentary what I think on that, and I could do the Kings, and you could give me commentary. How do you like that idea?
I like it.
So plus, minus, or equal. It would be something. Maybe it's going to be a 2 or 3 time, maybe 4 times in a season that we're going to go through that and say things, because I mean we do talk. I mean I know. Like Quentin Byfield has been a minus a good part of the season. I mean, he's had his hot times. Trevor Moore is a minus, just to give an example for a King. A plus, Alex Laferriere.
Yeah.
Joel Edmondson is a plus. Gavrikov is a plus. Kemper is a plus.
Yeah.
So we go and then we can add up their pluses and minuses and see where we're at. And hopefully you should be at least even throughout the lineup if you're going to be a decent team.
I feel like mine's going to have a lot of minus.
Well, you guys are still young and growing.
Yeah. Okay, I do have a quick question.
Sure.
There's been talks about expanding the playoffs. So instead of 8 teams, it'd be 10.
Yeah.
And kind of like what basketball does, in a way, like a play-in.
Right.
So you'd have, like, I think, was it 9 and 10, and then 8 versus 7. So your 2 wild card team, like pretty much your top
I don't.
3 in each
I don't,
would
I
make
would
it.
rather have it be 7 play 10 and 8 play 9.
I think, yeah, I agree with that.
If they were to do it, my understanding that was talked about on 32 Thoughts,
Yeah, that's why I was bringing it
and
up.
Elliot brought it up, and um, I guess Bettman's not too keen on
Yeah.
it, and Elliot was gutsy enough to say because he didn't like the idea because it wasn't his.
I mean,
But if you have more teams in the playoff, it brings more excitement to hockey in general. So
yeah,
I'm for that.
and I liked Elliot's idea for those play-in games. It's 2 games. If um if it's tied after regulation, then it's tied. Then you play the next game, then it's pretty much winner take all. So that way at least you're not, and it's like a 2-game format.
Yeah.
And then you
So
play sudden death
it's
in that
like
second game.
yeah the it's like soccer.
In a way, yes, but it's with a golden goal instead of a aggregate.
Exactly, but kind of like soccer
In a
does.
way, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I would be for expanding it.
I think expanding it would help with more profit too.
So when I was a kid, the World Series was the top team in the American League and the top team in the National League. There was no other playoffs.
Yeah.
Basically each one, you how many ever teams it was that was your how you if you were number one, you went on. If not, you didn't. And then they expanded to making the divisions like they have. And if you think about it, the Angels would never have a World Series if there wasn't a wild card because they were a wild card team.
Yeah. The Giants were a wild card, that team too. That season too.
I mean, that was the Moneyball year.
Oh yeah, it was. It was.
The Moneyball
Yeah.
year, it wasn't Moneyball that won the World Series. It was the Angels. If you guys didn't really kind of know that, yes. So you see the
Yeah.
Moneyball movie with Brad Pitt in it. Angels won the World Series that year.
That's such a great movie, though.
It is a good movie, very good movie. I enjoyed watching that. So not as good as Major League.
Yeah, Major League is my favorite, but if I would say just non-comedy baseball movie, I would say Moneyball's like right up there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But for me, it's Major League 2. So those are my top 2.
I even like the Major League 3 one with the bees.
It's all
right. It was fun. You still had Tanaka and Serrano.
Yeah.
And then Willie Mays Hayes?
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever go back to the 1 through 8 seeding for playoffs?
That was talked about also on 32 Thoughts.
Yeah.
I think that is the more deserving. If you are number one, you should have the easiest road. You've worked hard to get to that easiest road.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's kind of like that, but you're playing against 2 wild cards, and depending on how the divisions are.
So the East this is where, if we did a 1 through 8 right now, Boston versus Washington, Toronto versus Columbus, Tampa, New Jersey, Carolina, Florida. In the West, Calgary, Winnipeg, Vegas, Colorado,
Wow.
Kings in Edmonton, and Dallas in Minnesota. So I guess either way, the Kings are playing Oilers.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Funny thing that you say that. I'm less afraid of the Oilers than I've been in the past. We've played them tough every game. We've played them.
But you guys did that, like, you guys played them well in the regular season, and then playoffs, like, Draisaitl and McDavid are just two different guys.
Well, you're talking two of the best in the game.
Agreed.
So, I mean, you think about that. The closest the Kings have to that is Quentin Byfield, the number 2 pick. McDavid was number 1. I think Draisaitl was, 3?
Yeah, but different years.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know. You go down the Kings lineup, and you got Turcotte's a 5. Byfield's a 2.
If I can go back in time, Kopi would be number 2.
He was number 11, though.
I know, but if I can go back in time, he'd be number 2.
Behind
And guess who would have him at number 2?
the Ducks.
The Ducks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Because that was the Bobby Ryan draft.
And they took Bobby Ryan number 2?
Yep.
Who's number 1?
Some guy named Crosby.
Oh, wow. That's not going to change.
Yeah. He's number 1.
Yeah. And you talk about a class act of hockey.
Oh, yeah.
I still love the commercial, when he, at the end, it's him
Kids.
and it's the kids. Yes, I love that commercial.
You know what? It's funny. I like the goalie one too. The about tipping, like because
Yes.
you know how I love that one. And then you see Marchand come in and tip 63%, and he's like, "What? I love tipping." And it's I thought that was so great. Those are 2 great commercials for the NHL.
Well, the NHL needs to get their name out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the best spectator sport there is.
Yep.
You don't have to wait 45 seconds to a minute for every play to happen. It's constantly going.
Yeah.
So.
And they get to fight, and they only have to sit for 5 minutes. If you fight in any other sport, you're pretty much ejected from the game.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. Now, that's going to bring up, someone's going to ask, well, why do they allow fighting? I go, because if you don't have it, it's a way of controlling. It actually controls the violence.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise you have people with sticks doing crazy things.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, anyways. No trivia question?
No. Did you have one?
I don't.
We don't have any questions either. Let me double check before we get off. Oh, crap.
I'll get you a question.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have any questions? No questions. Well, while you're doing that, I'll lead us out just in case. Well, now that TikTok is getting banned, so I guess we won't be doing TikTok anymore. It was a shame because we were starting to get quite a bit of views on TikTok and stuff like that, and people commenting on videos. So I was, I was liking that. So I don't know what's the next TikTok or anything, but we are still on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky. I think we have a Lemon 8 one. I still don't know what Lemon 8 is. I really haven't used it yet. Don't ask me what it is. Yeah, Lemon 8. Like Lemon 8.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like the new TikTok in a way, I think. I don't know. So
I have a question.
Go for it.
What is the NHL record for the most fights in a season, and who was it? So
By
the
one
number
player?
of fights and this happened to be in a 77 game season.
Do I know who this player is?
I doubt it.
Well, that's a great question then, Dad.
Well, it's a question that people might want to know the answer to, whether you know it or not.
I'm not going to answer. We'll let our guest answer. I'll put it on YouTube shorts and I'll put on Instagram reels, and people, you send in your answers.
Okay.
Because if you say I have no idea, then I'll guess the number.
Okay.
By one player in one season.
Yep.
22.
Okay.
Am I close? Like, all right, if +5 -5, am I within that area?
No.
Oh, wow. More or less? More.
Shocking.
32.
Oh, you're still just out of the...
37.
You're getting close.
41.
A little lower.
40.
One more.
39.
39 majors and 77 games. So basically a major every other game. Actually, a little over 50% of the games.
Wow.
You wouldn't see that today.
No. But, all right, well, you guys, I'll put this on Instagram and YouTube, and you guys answer who it is. We now know who had it or how many fights. We just don't know who it was. So comment on the video, put your answers in, and yeah, and please leave us a rating and review on all your podcast platforms. That we would really help. It'd be very helpful. Also, we're on YouTube now, so please like and subscribe on the video, please, and comment what you think of the show.
Yeah, and here's a second quick question. How many fighting majors did Wayne Gretzky have in his career?
3.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking them.
Was I close?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You could tell me after we get off.
Oh, okay.
I want to know how close I was. But yeah, so how many fighting majors did Wayne Gretzky have in his career, and who had the 39 fighting majors in one season?
Correct.
So answer in the comments. We would really appreciate it. And you ready to get out of here?
I am, sir.
All right. Well, just remember, guys, let's go Ducks.
And go Kings go. See you next week.
A father and son, a bond so strong, talking hockey all day long. Royally quack, their podcast show, sharing stories, highs and lows. From the Kings to the Ducks they go. Shout and go Kings go, quack quack they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows in the years. The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared, a royally quack their stories aired. Face off in life, together they stand. Shout and go Kings go, quack quack they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows and the years. Let go. The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared, on royally quack their stories aired. Face off in life, together they stand. Shout and go Ducks go, go Kings go. A father and son watching the show through wins and losses.